Greetings and welcome to Motion Artworks Incorporated headquarters. But where am I? I haven't shaved and I'm in my PJs, so you're not going to see me today. But it's okay because I'm going to give you a little tour of the HQ and let you know where I get my inspiration from. So, first things first. That's my wife. She gives me inspiration. Anyway. And here's an anniversary gift she got me that I proudly hang on the wall. It's pictures, memories, and so on. And there's little notes in each one of these little card things. And honestly, that's kind of the whole reason. You know, my wife and kids is why I do this and why I'm making this movie and why I'm exploring my passions and my hobbies. Now let me get into what motivates me to actually write and get things done. Each one of these little pieces of flair, we'll say, helps me out in some way. Anyway, first the wall. Yeah, we referenced this in the last video. Coffee and contemplation. Hopper's my favorite character in Stranger Things, and that was my favorite line of his. One of his first lines, actually, that he ever spoke in the whole series. And I absolutely love coffee. If I ever have an endorsement, it will be for coffee. This was a gift from some friends. And, you know, I mean, what I do is very related to acting and theater, even though it's film. But I just thought that would be just a really cool kind of symbolic, display for kind of the reason why we do all this stuff, you know, to elicit emotion and to inspire and so on and so forth. And, of course, to entertain. I have always been a Darksider. Yoda is the only exception. But I've always thought Darth Vader was cool as hell. And so I figured I had to represent that a little bit. And this was a really cheap price, so why not? It was like $2.99. I can't even remember where I got it from, but it was just so wonderfully cheap. This is a star chart for March 30th, 2006. Actually, March 29th. But I technically met my wife at midnight. So it was technically March 30th, but that is the way the sky looked the night we met. That was another anniversary gift. Anyway, my son got me this old school camera, which I display. It's heavy as a car, and it doesn't work anymore. And it wouldn't work anyway. I mean, it was so old, like it doesn't shoot any video. It was just still pictures. But since I am a DSLR filmmaker, I display it. You know, it's kind of a cool history, of the kind of the history of, what I'm using now. I mean, it represents part of that history. So I thought it was really neat. I'm going to go to the movies real quick. We'll move this for a minute. So, like I said before, I'm a hopeless Dracula fanatic. I like the original Dracula movie with Bela Lugosi. So, of course, I display that. I'm going to do a bio on Mr. Lugosi on my channel. I don't know when yet, but I will, because I'm a huge, huge fan of his. He was a really fascinating guy, an incredible actor, ridiculously talented actor. So, anyway. Ooh, drop the phone. So, also, Frankenstein, of course. I really like old Universal horror movies. And so I own all the classics. Some I own more than one copy of. I've got other copies of Dracula, hence right here. Boom. And I think I may have one more copy of Frankenstein. I'm not sure though. Doesn't matter though. I mean, one will do the trick. I didn't purposefully end up with two, but anyway. And then of course I've got the Bela Lugosi franchise collection. 5 of his best films. I think 3 of which were actually with Boris Karloff on this one. Those were good though. I really liked those a lot. I like Boris Karloff also, but not as much as Bela Lugosi. Anyway, got a neat little book there that, hides some computer connections and so on. Little pieces of hardware. But I didn't tell you that. That's top secret. Anyway, and then there's Indiana Jones. I actually found these at a yard sale. They're in surprisingly good condition. I had to buy them. I knew I would never watch them, at least in this format. I have them also on DVD. But Yeah, they're in insanely good condition. All of them too. Like, look, it's still shiny even. Anyway, literally $2 at a yard sale. Also holds sentimental value. These movies, probably more than any other, shaped my childhood. In fact, when I write a script now, I don't outline. My brain just kind of just pushes it out, and I just naturally kind of end up with a similar pacing to any one of these films. They were really, really influential on me, and I really enjoy them to this day. I told you about this in a video. It's a pencil sharpener. I use it as a pen holder. I think it's great. It's hilarious. It was in one of my son's loot crates, but he didn't want it, so he gave it to me. Speaking of loot crate, I have my coasters. These came in one of my loot crates over a year ago. I was a member of Loot Crate for a while. Now it's my son. They're kind of cool. I'm not 100% sure what they represent. I know it's a specific rim on the back. Legendary Pictures. I know it's movie related, but they're blue and they look kind of cool. My favorite color is blue. And I use them. I use them for my coffee, like, all the time. It's my computer, you know. And this is interesting. You know, some of my root inspiration again. To the world, you're a dad. To your family, you're the world. And then as a really cool representation of that, I've got this wonderful little glass globe here. Now, it's funny. I actually got this globe when my family and I flew Delta to and from New York City last summer. And we just kind of got that as a little gift. And my wife gave it to me and said, here, why don't you display it on your desk? And I thought, what a perfect little collection right there to display one with the other. You know, the world. So, anyway. And then this here is when my son, technically my stepson, changed his last name to mine, which was the greatest compliment I've ever gotten. So that gives me a lot of inspiration. Like I said, you know, my family is like the root inspiration. This is why I explore my hobbies, and this is why I will succeed at them one day. And I feel like I'm already succeeding, but you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind doing that for a living. And then, you know, to actually get inspired to produce material and to write, all this stuff, all this artistic, wonderful stuff. Oh, speaking of which, so these are Labyrinth film cells. My wife's favorite movie of all time is Labyrinth. And we've got these really, really cool film cells. In fact, I'll hold them up to the window so you can see them. These are real actual film cells from Labyrinth. And you can see the reflection of my phone and me in there. Sorry about that. But I just wanted to show you the cells. These are just another kind of... I mean, my wife let me hang these up here. She used to have them over her makeup vanity. But she just kind of redecorated it. And so she let me have those. And so I think that's pretty cool that, you know, represents movies and it represents her because that's her favorite movie. Now, my favorite film cells... My absolute favorite film cells right here. Oh, there's a lot of reflection. These are genuine, honest to goodness, poltergeist film cells from the actual movie release in 1982. You'll forgive my crappy writing. I love these. These hold a huge amount of sentimental value. Although they were like, I mean, they weren't even $20. Like, talk about a score. I mean, I think these are incredible. I love them. They're by far my favorite thing that I have on my wall because Poltergeist is my favorite movie. But yeah, they were just so incredibly cheap. I mean, how often do you find that? You know, people pay millions of dollars for, you know, collector's items that hold sentimental value to them. I didn't even pay $20. Literally, with like taxes, it was like $16 and some change. It was incredible. Anyway. I think that's about it. I have a neat little pen here. It was a gift from my wife, and I just think it's really cool, and so I display it. It represents, you know, writing. Of course, I do a lot of writing. I mean, I'm a screenwriter, you know, screenwriter and a film producer. I only produce my own work, so you're darn right I write all the time. Anyway, that is about it. I think I've included everything in here. You know, hopefully I didn't bore you. I will see you guys soon. I'm coming out with another video in a day or so. And it will be another kind of film analysis, a collection of films. But yeah, I'm signing off for now. See you guys soon. Bye.